Right. Yeah, I doubled the time as I was getting everything ready. How's everybody doing this fine, overcast Tuesday? Good. All right, so if you weren't here 3 minutes ago, which half of you weren't, we're going to be working on hammer fists today. So honestly, the best thing you can do at home is get a stack of pillows. That's about 2.5 feet. Actually, that's actually a little too high. So if you got like 2 couch cushions, that'd be great. Depends if you want to be. We've got knee huddles on the floor. You have wave masters at home, you can pop the tops off. You can like unscrew those and set them on the floor. If you have the old style wave masters, you can just take the tops off as well. If you have those Versus bags, those tubes, just knock it over. Once you get all that together, the other thing that we'll use just to kind of help, get one of your sparring gloves. Even if you're working by yourself, it's going to really, don't put it on. You're going to use it as actually a target. So you actually use one of your sparring gloves as a target. You'll see why when we get there. Anybody I haven't seen yet this week, put braces on, oxygen, orange, silver spoon, Fran, Edfield, Rose, Hagen, Matt. I'm not saying everyone's name, there's so many of you on here, just running through to see. Mr. Brown, good to see you, Mr. Connor. Tans, both of you guys, Jeff, Kenji, just Calvin. Everybody else looks pretty good. No, you don't want it. Beautiful. All right, guys, go ahead and face me. And put your side toes together. Now, today, all right, so today's class is going to be going over a hammer fist, but we're not going to do it on a self-defense side of things. We're going to work on how to break with the hammer fist. Before we even get to all that, though, oh, is that Miss Harrod, Miss Savannah? Good to see you, ma'am. We're going to warm up our legs a little bit. This is going to be a very hand-heavy class. So let's do a little bit of workout for our legs. So we're just trying to get a little bit of space. Now once you get jog in place, we'll just move those legs. You know, we had a bunch of heavy hitting yesterday. Hopefully you can really work those back pivots. You're feeling it in your hamstrings and your butt today. Good. High knees. So get those knees up a little bit more. Remember, my guys on YouTube, you're going to let us know at the end of the week that you were on there or watched it later. Everyone got Zoom, the people who are taking care of it now. Good. I want you to keep the knees behind you. There we go. This. Eating a bunch of food, but before this is awesome. Very cool. All right, next one, guys. Little mini lunges. Just step out, come back to your spot. Lunge down. The difference is you want to put your knee on the floor. We'll tie into it a little bit. Knee, real cut. Keep your back straight. Good. Good. Now as you step out with one leg, I want you to stick the other hand out. Almost like you do like a pumpkin punch. Or a pumpkin punch. All right, so I'm going to lunge. Stick your hand out. Good. 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 Next one to make that one leg feel really nice. I want you to step out. It looks like a mild forward stance. Stick your hand out and you're going to lunge up and down in place. 10 times. Once you've done 10, I was not counting my side. 10 on the other side. Step out. Let's pump 10 times. That Yes, it's super, yeah. When you come to kick, even someone who trains in martial arts, you don't typically do what we did yesterday with back pivots. That's really good on that. Mr. Johnny, do you hear me, sir? Have you been doing your private lessons with Master Miles? Super, let's get on that this week. You messaged me to reach out to you. You've been fantastic. You've been on almost as many classes as Master Bible comparatively, but want to get you that instruction as well. Awesome. All right, so does anybody know what this is? Who's seen this before? Right? This is a concrete capstone. 2 inches thick, solid concrete. This is what you break at your black belt test, or try to break at your black belt test with a hammer fist. And to be honest, guys, our school, our academy, has a pretty good success rate with breaking these, as long as you put the effort in. Right? Because people tend to learn the technique and execute it pretty well, but it's not something, don't look at this and say, man, this is going to be super easy. This is one of those things you got to put that mental black belt attitude behind it, like, man, I got to practice, but I can do it, right? Yeah, most of you are going to be 12 years old around the time you take your black belt test, right? I've watched or older. Yeah. Most of you will be 12. I see some of my teens and adults are already laughing at that. I have seen girls, very, very skinny, small girls, break the concrete block. So don't be thinking, man, I'm tiny, or man, it's been really tough, guys. I've seen 9 and 10-year-old girls back in the day when we had black belt testing, 60, 70 pounds actually break a concrete block. I've also seen 200-pound guys not be able to break it. They didn't have good technique. So don't just think because you're huge, you got this. And don't think because you're small or a girl, I can't do this. Miss Long, Miss Angelina, Master Miles, Master Selby, and Master All, they've all crushed through concrete before. So definitely something that's doable. It's really cool experience when you take your hand and put it through a chunk of concrete. Anatomically, that shouldn't be possible. So it's pretty cool. So we're going to work with the technique to do that. So this is close to being a black belt, right? Red belt, black, white. Beautiful training. Those of you really far away, white belt, yellow belt, green belt, you now have extra time to practice this. So let's get started. Hand out. We're going to work on probably the second most important part of the hammer fist, and the kind of the secret part, and that is the magic twist at the end. All right? So what I want to do is, I don't want to spend the entire motion twisting my wrist. I want the last inch to be a twist. And you'll see, just from hitting your hand from about an inch away, that's pretty powerful. So I want to almost have stick your thumb out, touching your hand, keep that distance, make a fist, and in that space, I want you to twist your hand over. So thumb down, about that much space, twist and heat your hand. Twist and heat your hand. Twist and heat your hand. And generate as much force as you can. Now for today, we're not going to practice left and right. If you're right-handed, we are going to drill your right hand. If you are left-handed, we're going to drill your left hand. If you're a black belt who has broken their grip before, you're like, man, I have right-handed the bejesus out of concrete already, and I want to start working my left hand, y'all can do that. But for all my color belts or people who have never broken concrete before, use your main hands. So we're just going to work that motion, that twist, that last second twist. Move it, move it, move it. Boom, boom. All right? That's the secret part. And to be honest, the small people who have broken concrete, it's because they have that motion down. They understand right at the last second that they turn that hand over. It almost doubles the force. It's amazing how technique can help out the human body. So let's go over the full motion. This is where you need to stack the pillows. Now, I'm going to do the first couple with what we use to practice so you can kind of see. Then I'll go back because, I don't feel like having my hand being bruised for a long, long time. So when you use a stack of pillows, you can practice force and speed and everything and not worry about it. I'm never going to watch real quick. You can see me on this. You can see me. So the warm-up we work is essentially what we do. So let's assume this is a concrete block or a board. You can kind of work up to it, right? And I do my break. Back a little bit more. When I do this, I line up very nicely. It's not for self-defense. It's for working the mechanics of the break, and it's my whole body. You're going to say that, whole body. Whole body. Not my hands, right? Not my arms. It's my entire body that drops and breaks through whatever I'm hitting. Okay, say yes, sir? And here's what I want you to work. I want you to line up with your pile. You're going to get in a forward stance. If you're breaking with your right hand, the left foot goes in front. And you want your shoulder lined up with the middle of the palm. If I'm here, I'm on off to the side, I'm not really far back, I am right in front of it, my shoulder is lined up with the middle. That's step one, you say line it up. Step two, everyone's saying hand super high. The second big mistake people make is they'll fire from your ear, or they'll fire from back over here, and make the wrong angle. I want my hands right above the palm. Right? Don't go fast. All I want you to do is drop down on one knee, bring your hand down super slow, and the last step is just roll over and touch the palm. I don't want you to have back yet. We're just going to work that motion. Right? Imagine there's a pole sticking right up in the middle of this. Right? My hand's traveling along the pole, and the last second it rolls over. That's the motion. I want you to work that about 10 times. Slow twist. Back. Notice my entire body weight is coming behind me. I'm not touching my head down. I'm not bending my back. I'm dropping my knees. Okay, let me watch you guys for a second. Nice and slow. Don't worry about your speed just yet. I just want you to work that nice, super slow form. Above the head, drop it down. If you have a question, you're going to have to run up to your screen and type it in. Master Nichols will answer it. Mr. Baird, Mr. Master Nichols thinks he had a question. He's sitting right next to me, watching the giant television screen. Cool. All right, great. So, the two most important parts. Sorry, I'm looking at the television, not this one over here. Cooper, yes, I can see you, Cooper. Two most important parts. I'm going to say drop the knee, hit straight, and the secret part, twist the wrist. Right? If I'm dropping the knee and hitting straight, that does 90% of it. But that little twist is the thing that takes many, many years to get down. A lot of people will just wind up and do a true, almost like a hammer. There's no twist at all. And they're using their arm strength and size. If you're smaller, like me and Master Nicholas, we need technique on our side. If you're larger, right? One brick may be pretty easy. You can just swing that arm. You may be someone who wants to break 3 or 4 one day. It doesn't matter how big you are. When you get to 3 or 4 bricks, you need technique. And that's what's important. So, there's 3 ways of practicing. Practice number 1, everyone say soft and squishy. Practice number 2, say hard. Practice number 3, say air. Right? Soft and squishy is great because when you hit a pile of pillows, does it hurt? It's just going to build up your speed and power. We're going to work that part. We're going to jump around the fast today. We're going to jump the speed before going back to accuracy. So if I get across something like a piece of like a plastic board, and I'm hitting it over and over again, and it's not and it's not breaking, right? I'm practicing, and it's not breaking. Is it going to hurt my hand? Over time, it will. Right? I don't want to sit here and bang on something super hard all day. I might do this 2 or 3 times a day. Right, whether it's breaking or not, going through. When I hit something squishy, I can practice my force all day long. So I want you to line up. Everybody in front of your pile of pillows. Right? We're going to aid a little extra. I want you to take the hand you're Yes, sir. I want you to take the hand that you're not hitting with. I want you to point right at the edge. Right where your hand is going to hit. Other hand makes the fist. And you're going to set up twice. You're going to go set up 1, point. Set up 2, point. And then on number 3, I'm going to hit this pile of pillows as hard as I can. Ready? Hands are up.
Yes, we can still see you, Cooper.
See that go. So set up 1. You're going to go set up. Yeah! Hit as hard as you can. Go. Set up 1. Remember, whatever hand you're hitting with, you want that foot behind you. So all my righties out there, you're going to have your left foot forward as you're hitting. There we go. So work that setup motion. straight up over your head. Look at my profile. It's not back. It's not by my ear. It's right over my head, and it drops down. Up over the head, 1 foot forward, and I drop. You see you guys work your hips. And again, for my black belts who've already done this before, Mr. Cooper, Mr. Kyle, Master Bible, Mr. Tan, if you're on there, Mr. Burnett, Miss Gracie, if you guys are broken before, start working that left hand for today. Or you can practice a chop. Everything's the same, just have your hand open. Right? That's kind of the next level up. Your base 3, hammer fist, palm strike, chop. You got to learn to break it those 3 ways before you get to the fun stuff. Cool, cool, and cool. Now, freeze. Here's an important one, guys. I have to key on every one of these hits. Everything practice makes permanent. It's one of our black belt principles. Practice makes permanent. Right? It doesn't make it perfect, but the way I practice is how I'm going to perform when I'm tired, nervous, or scared. At your black belt test at the very end, do you think you're going to be tired? Right? When you have to hit a piece of concrete for the first time, do you think you're going to be nervous? Maybe a little scared. You might be feeling all 3 of those. The way you practice is going to determine what happens test day. So when I get over here, even when I'm hitting a pile of pillows or my mattress, another thing we used to tell people to practice with, I'm not going to come up here and be like, oh yeah, on test day, I'm going to hit hard to Kia. When you have the soft target, I'm going to sit up, boom! The same way I'm going to hit a concrete block and performance mode. You clear? Say yes, sir? We're going to take a little side part for the speed. Now I want you to get rid of the setting up. I want you to just bring your hand up over your head and 3 times as fast as you can. Try and hit the same spot. Ready? See Jack go. Hand over your head. Drop, hand over your head. Drop, hand over your head. Drop. 3 quick times. Take a little break and do it again. All right? Remember, guys, if you're hitting with that right hand, you want your left foot in front. So you're hitting with your back hand. That is enough. 3 times. Hit, reset, hit, reset, hit, reset. And break. By the way, a little side note, hammer fisting a pile of soft things is a great stress relief. Right? You're really stressed out. This is really more. I'm really going to point this one at my teenagers and adults right now, who I'm sure are a little bit more stressed. Already parents who are listening, right? I used to do this on my mattress at home. This is one of my ways of. Hopefully you'll never see. I have a horrible temper, so I've had to learn ways of dealing with it. Right? One of my ways was beating up my bed, hammer fisting. At the same time, was making me a better martial artist. So here's a great martial arts drill and technique. Pile up a set of pillows. Hit your mattress at home. It doesn't hurt your hand to do those things, right? If I hit a wall, am I going to hurt my hand? If I hit a mattress, am I going to hurt my hand? No, right? So I can actually work on karate technique while letting out some of that stress we may be experiencing right now. Why don't you get your sparring glove now? Now we're working after the food. So I'm going to get my brick again. And again, for my junior belts, my white belts through blue belts, let's just learn how to do a hammer fist. Don't worry about these extra details. My brown belt, red belt, black belt. Talking about the brick. When I hit a brick, where do we hit? Dead center? No. So if you were hitting a brick, you're going to want to hit the edge in the middle, not the dead center of the brick. When I'm doing a hammer fist, I'd actually be hitting the edge closest to me. When I'm hitting boards, however, a big pile of boards, those I do hit dead center. Just a little side note. So now what I want you guys to do on your pile of cushions or pillows or kick shields or your weight master top, just take your sparring glove and I want you to put it right on the edge closest to you. And that's where you're going to line up everything. That's the sweet spot, the mat and the button. All right? So I want to make sure I'm setting my hand down, I'm touching the glove. So I'm going to go touch the glove. Touch the glove. Yes, it is. Smash the glove. I only want my hand hitting the glove. Now, last part. Ever make a fist real quick? Hold it up. This part right here. the squishy part of my hand. That's the target. I'm not hitting with my wrist. Please don't ever hit concrete with your wrist. I'm not hitting with my pinky knuckle. I'm not hitting with my forearm. This part right here, that muscle right there, all right, it's squishy. Gives me some padding. That part is going to touch the glove once, touch the glove twice, and on the third one, try and hit that glove as hard as you can. See Jack go. Now you're practicing the same way you'd be hitting concrete, but now you're ready. Now you're practicing in a safe way, something squishy. Remember, guys, don't bring it behind your head. I'm not coming back this way. It should stay in front of my body. So if you have someone watching, by the way, my brown belts, red belts, black, whites, getting close to testing. This is a great thing to practice at home with your parents watching. They can let you know, hey, so-and-so, hey, Greta, or hey, Cooper, or hey, Hazel, your hand's going all over the place, right? You don't see that unless you video. By the way, you guys are being fine. I was just using my black, whites, and my black belts that I saw on the screen. I'm just giving you some tips. It's up to you to practice this on your own. So we're working our accuracy here and a little bit of the timing. Oh. And great. So, how are hands feeling? Pretty good? Yes? They should be because you're hitting something soft. This is really important. As you start practicing your hammer fists, and my black belts and adults who are listening, because you can start doing this now, even as green belts, blue belts, and brown belts. You should never leave a, what we call hand conditioning session without the use of your hands, right? Even if I'm hitting bricks or wood for practice, I shouldn't be going to the point where I can't use my hands for a week. About 10 minutes after training, I should be ready to go again. I should be able to write. I should be able to text and type. There should be nothing wrong. If I overdid it, that's, if it's hurting for longer than 10 minutes, you overdid it. Sound good? Really, really important. So before we go back to hitting things, again, the three things I said we can practice on. Everybody say solid, squishy, air. And when you're practicing, you want to practice on two of them all the time. When we start getting close to the black belt, that hard one. And that's how to start it real quick. So when we're hitting the air per se, I like to use a paddle target or a flip-flop. Notice when you guys were hitting your piles of pillows, did you go all the way to the floor? No, right? Your hand's not a knife. It's not going to slice through pillows. So you don't get to work on the follow-through. The only two ways you can work on the follow-through is actually breaking something or hitting a target, right? So if Master Nicholas holds the target out at the same level, here's one way I can practice or focus or flip-flop. It's not going to hurt my hand, but I can practice, bringing my hand all the way down to the floor. One of the other secrets. I don't aim for the brick. I aim below the brick, right? Hitting the freezer, yeah. Hitting the freezer doesn't hurt. I don't recommend hitting your freezer. It breaks, right? Second one, hitting something solid. That is actually getting the practice board, or what we call a conditioning brick, and I start getting my hand used to hitting something solid. We'll do that one at the karate school. Unless you're a black belt who knows how to do that, or an adult who wants to get with Master Nicholas on your next private lesson and go through some conditioning exercises. The third one is just constantly hitting something squishy to build those muscles up. You clear to say yes, sir? All right, let's go back to some more practice. This time I'm going to call you guys out. I'm going to go 1, 2, hit it. So you got to keep pace with me. You're going to go set, destroy. How do you guys? Set up in your spaces. We're going to go the old Grandmaster way. Ready? For some of you, you may get lucky. Usually one black belt test a year, Grandmaster makes it out. When that happens, he counts you down. He takes control of your brick break. He goes 1, 2, hit it! And you have to keep pace with what he's saying. And you can't let it mess with your focus. Ready? Step back up. Here's your mentality. I want 2 things, and this is the brick. Whether your black belt test is 3 months or 3 years, the day has come. You are at black belt test. This is how you practice for the moment. Everybody's watching me. I'm tired. I'm nervous. This is a solid piece of concrete. Ready? 1, 2. Hit it! Yeah! Boom! And step back up again. It didn't break. You have to hit it the second time. Ready? Step back up. And 1, 2. Hit it! Wham! Good. Guess what? It still didn't break. You get the third try. Is that black belt testing? Are you required to break the concrete block? Who thinks yes? Raise your hand. You must break concrete to get your black belt. Who thinks it's an optional one? Right? You don't have to break it. You have to try. And what we're looking at, we know this is a difficult break. There's a couple things at your black belt test that we give you that are difficult to succeed or near impossible. What we want to see is your attitude and your perseverance at tackling that challenge. When I go up to that brick and hit it, bam, and it doesn't break, you go up and go, I am afraid. Or do you hit it a second time as hard as you can, right? That's perseverance. That's tenacity. That's what we want to see from our black belt. Understand? Say yes, sir? Or do you get it the first time going, oh my God, I'm so afraid of concrete, right? You're letting something defeat you before you even try. That's part of your black belt test. Now, you shook your hand out, go back over, we're hitting that concrete block a third time, right? Last chance of today, your black belt test. Your first two weren't hard enough, so somehow, even with the sore hand and being tired, you now have to hit that piece of the concrete, or in this case, those pillars harder than you have the last two. Ready, set up. This has to be harder than your last two. 1, 2. Hit it! Wham! And break, guys. Cool. Go ahead and slide back over here. So, yes, ladies, but we're going to kind of start winding it down. So, can you practice on both hands? Yes or no? Absolutely. Right? And I encourage you to work a little bit of both. This is one of the few times I would say spend a couple years working that main hand. Right? So this is one of the few times I might work 10 times my right hand, but only 2 or 3 on my left. Because I want to make sure my right hand, my breaking hand, is ready to go for black belt testing. Now, some of my black belts who are like, I like that challenge, you might flip-flop that. Now I'm going to drill my left hand and start learning to break that way. Or you're going to start going down other ways of breaking things. Sound good? So again, when you're working your hammer fists, squishy and air you can do at home. If you're interested in starting to learn your hand conditioning, get my guys, my color belts during your private lesson this week with Master Nicholas. That could be one of your questions. Like, hey, what can I start doing to prepare my hand to hit a piece of concrete? Sound good? Believe it or not, the adults tend to condition their hands more than the kids do. Kids are young and springy. Their hands don't get hurt as much. Adults, when you make mistakes, it takes a little bit longer to recover, so you want to get those hands ready if need be. Cool, cool, cool. Here's your homework, guys. Remember, this is a 30-minute class, really heavy on the hands. Different, say, 5 forms, 25 breaking kicks, and then I want you to design a 10-minute workout on your own. Could be anything. Could be running, could be biking, could be doing handstand push-ups and putting your shirt on at the same time. It could be, standing on one leg for a full 10 minutes. Do something. 10-minute workout. So again, say 5 forms, 25 breaking techniques, 10-minute workout. All right, and I'll see some of you guys later on for our yellow belt class and some of you on later for our black belt class tonight. Ready, guys? Go ahead and face me. Hands by your side, toes together, and bow. Yay. 1, 2, 3. 2.